Hi everyone, how have you all been? It's good to see you guys again. I gotta say, this week did go by very quickly. I feel like I've just seen you guys not long ago. And all of a sudden we're doing another live stream, which is in complete contrast to what happened the week before. The week before, I felt like I had not seen you for a while. This time I feel like I've just seen you a couple days ago, so... Yeah, that's an interesting turn of events right there. So, how have you all been? Let's see, who's here? Deadwolf, great to see you, buddy. It's great to see you too, Fireboy. Chris Thompson, good times. Khan, as always, is always here, keeping check of the times. Super Angry, good to see you here, man. I don't know if we were having an argument or if that was just in your personality, but I'm glad that you've joined the stream. Thank you very much. Welcome. Everyone, have a big angry welcome to Super Angry. Jess, great to see you here again as well. The Dark Lord, Fireboy, Supersonic, Movie King 3000, Andrew Edits, Goat, Good Times, Rohan, Tuckut. I think Tuckut is new. We'll give a warm welcome to Tuckut as well. Looks like we've got a few new people in the stream. Mr. Forful, I apologize, but are you new or have you always been here, or have you changed your name, or am I just silly and I can't remember? Billy says, I finally have a free weekend to watch you again. Did you watch me before? Because your name looks new. People on the streams sometimes just change their names and their profile pictures, and that's enough to throw me off. It seems like a brand new viewer. Billy says, so many streams I couldn't see you. Well, I'm glad you can see me in a stream now, and we've got a really good one. Especially when we start talking about DC. I did so much prep. This is probably the most prep that I have done for a live stream with this particular stream right here. So you're going to have a lot of cool stuff to look at that I'll be updating as we go through this stream. There's a lot of new information that has come around. So yeah, we'll have a ton to talk about here. Let me just see, I've got all my notes up. Yep, I do. Oh, so good to see all of you here. Trevor, great to see you as well. Mr. Forful. He says, oh, it's Mr. P or Parker CS2, but I changed. Ah, no wonder. See, if you had Parker CS2, I would have known it was you. Or if you had Mr. P. But changing yourself to Mr. Forful, yeah, that looked like a brand new viewer. Also, I swear you've changed your profile picture too. Matthew, it's great to see you here as well. Goat. He says, 5-hour stream incoming. I don't know what makes you think is a 5-hour stream. When have I ever done a 5-hour stream? The most I've done was, I think... Was it 4.5 hours or something? 4.5 hours? Big Bash, great to see you here. Trevor, Spirit Hero, great to see you as well. Oh, you're talking about the Demon Slayer movie, Spirit Hero. Okay, don't worry about that. Even I sometimes do the odd bit of do the odd bit of wrong information, so it's okay. Trust me. Oh, it's great to see all of you guys again. It really is. Let's see. The only ones we haven't got here right now that I can think of are Jake, Adam Grunther, and Sarah. Oh, it says here, Electrify has been a member for 6 months. Wow, he goes 6 months. Whoa. By the way, what do you think about me pursuing an acting career? If you want to pursue an acting career, go for it. I don't know very much about how you came to that, but if it's something that you love doing, yeah, by all means, go for it. And thank you for being a member for 6 months, Electrify. For anyone who is not aware, you can become a YouTube member. And by doing so, you support me, you support the channel, you help keep it going. And you also get a ton of additional content, including trailer reactions. You'll be invited to member-only live streams where we can watch episodes of TV shows or movies together. Specifically TV shows. I am going to watch Loki for the first time with you guys eventually. Once I've lightened my workload, I'll be getting onto that. And then, yeah, we can watch those episodes together for the first time, and you can see my reaction live as I watch it for the first time. So, yeah, Matthew says, how many months? How many months what? Goat says, thanks for responding to my comment on the Shrek Vive video. No problem at all. The Shrek Vive video is actually getting some good viewership, which is good. The last time I got this much views for a video was on the Mufasa review that I did. So, yeah, the video is going quite well. For those of you that haven't seen it, please do give it a watch. It's only about 5 minutes. Give it a thumbs up as well, because thumbing up, you have no idea how much thumbs up really help with the algorithm. So, always give my videos a thumbs up. It really does help. And also, if you can, share them as well. I'd also appreciate that. So yeah, Jake, great to see you. He goes, hey, so how about that Shrek trailer? I feel like I'm more bothered by the meme humor than the character designs. Don't worry, we'll talk about Shrek. That's the first thing we'll talk about when we move on to the stories. Spectacular Umbrian. Are you new, or are you a different, are you new, or are you this a subscriber who's changed their profile and name as well? It's cool whenever we get new members into the live streams. Oh man, Jess says man to woman to woman to man. Don't remind me of that song. Oh boy, let's see. If Shrek 5 kept that animation design, then we are going to riot. If it keeps that animation design, says Jess. Oh, that's interesting. Like, I got a smart plan for it, Eric, says Electrify. Got a smart plan for what? Hello, Eric, I'm here for DC. Oh, that says Batman 235. Well, we got a ton of stuff to talk about with DC. James Gunn announced some new projects. Well, he didn't really announce them as much as an event happened where people were able to ask him, from the press, were able to ask him any questions they wanted. And they asked him a bunch of questions, and I'm going to be addressing all of those, as well as his updated information on the DC projects he's doing. And he did drop some new news about new movies and shows that he wanted to do, which is interesting. I pranked my teacher, says I'm frickin' back. Well, it's good to have you back, buddy. It's good to have all of you back. Just waiting for a few more of you, then we'll get on to the stories. Adam Grunther, great to see you here, buddy. He says, Adam says, how would you rank James Gunn's projects from best to worst? Guardians, The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and Creature Commandos. I would say best to worst. Well, I really did enjoy Guardians 3 more than the others, but I would say I preferred his DC stuff more than his Marvel stuff, so I would say my favorite is Peacemaker. Then I would say Creature Commandos, The Suicide Squad, Creature Commando... Okay, let's start again. Peacemaker. Good Times has become a member. Thank you, buddy. Oh, it says you've been a member for a month. Oh, all right. Oh, well, congratulations on being a member for a month. Let me quickly rank those that Adam Grunther asked. Where is his message gone? There you go. Okay, so I would say Peacemaker, Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad, Creature Commandos. That's the order. Because with Guardians, the reason why I think the Suicide Squad movie is better, but the characters are better in Guardians, and that's enough to rank it above, I think, Suicide Squad. Even though I think Suicide Squad is a better movie, if I had to rank it, I would say probably Guardians, because the characters are better. The characters, I like them a lot in Suicide Squad, but they're not great. That's the only thing I would say about them. Jake says, kind of sucks how poorly it's doing, considering how hard I worked on it. How hard you worked on what? I did part 1 of my Amelia Perez review. I'm planning on uploading part 2 soon, but after the award ceremony, it might be irrelevant. Who knows? It's hard to kind of like jump on something while it's trending. It really is. Believe me, you guys have seen me try to jump on stuff that's trending and then it doesn't work. So yeah, but for those of you that are on this stream, help Jake out, and when the stream is over, go and watch his Amelia Perez review and let's see how, and leave him a comment, see how he did. Okay, so before we move on to the story now, before we talk about Shrek 5 and what we'll all have a say on the animation here, and I'll read all your comments on it as well and stuff like that, so we'll all have a say here. But before we do, I'm just going to make a quick announcement that I've got this right here. I've actually changed up some of the perks. I've given well, not changed them up, I've actually got extra perks. So we got Patreon perks, as you can see on your screen right here, but we've also got some new perks. Now, these perks I've already had before, but it was the G Gamer who actually came on and asked me a question, and it was a very, very good question. Let me bring it up. Is G Gamer in the chat? I've not had a look, actually. But if G Gamer is, he asked me a very, very good question. And I'll read it out to you. I actually asked him if I could read it out, and he says yeah. So I'll read it out to you, what he said. He said, now you guys know that I do, I allow people to commission and request movie reactions and even TV show reactions from me. And I've been allowing that recently, and then G Gamer, he came up with a very good idea. Because usually I just did the £250 commission for the movie reaction, or the £500 for the full TV show reaction for 8 episodes, as you can see. But he said, how about doing smaller ones? He said right here. He goes, Question, I wanted to ask for TV shows that are just too big with like 100 to 1000 episodes, like One Piece or SpongeBob, would you ever consider doing commissions that only require you to watch one specific episode of them? Like, for example, if I commissioned for only one certain SpongeBob episode reaction to, like, Band Geeks. I was just asking this because for your TV commissions, the maximum being 8 episodes, so I was just wondering if there was a way in order to commission you to watch longer shows. And I thought, you know what, that's actually a very good idea. I've never even thought about that. But a lot of you have been saying, Eric, have you seen My Adventures of Superman, or have you seen this show or that show, or like there's many shows where you guys just want to see my thoughts on just a one episode type of thing. And I'm like, yeah, I should have a commission for that, you know? So, yeah, if there's an episode of One Piece you want me to watch, or The Adventures of Superman and Lois, or if there's a show you want me to watch, like My Adventures of Superman, which people have said, well, now you can. If the episode is 10 minute long, that's a £30, all you gotta do is commission £30, and then you double it. But if you go for 8 episodes, you actually make a huge saving, because instead of doing £120 for 8 episodes, which could go up to like near £1,000, near 1,000, this actually just brings it down to 500, so you actually get a massive discount there for this commission. So I thought I would just announce the commissions and let you guys know. So that way, if there are any episodes you want to see me just see my whole reaction to watching the entire episode or the entire movie, then here they are right here. These are other options for you. If there's any TV show you can think of that you want me to watch a specific episode on, whether it's a childhood show of yours or a current show, well, there's the price plans there, basically. And like I said, all the donations go completely to allow me to do this for a living on my channel. So you're going to get something in return, because I always love to give you guys stuff in return. I don't just want donations from you. That's not the kind of I don't roll that way. I like to give you guys something in return. And yeah, it has to be done through Streamlabs though. Oh, speaking of which, before I read your guys' super chats right there, and I do see them, let me quickly put the super chats, the link to the super chats in here. Let's quickly get that done. Let's quickly get that link in there. Continue. It's logged me out of Streamlabs, so I gotta go back into it. After this, we'll go onto the stories. But yeah, that's basically available there if you guys want to get me to watch any of these episodes of a TV show, or even if you want me to react to your favorite movie. You can, and I'll get it done very quick as well. Because you don't have to do too much editing when it comes to stuff like this. It's just myself watching the movie and putting the time code there for you guys to watch it as well. Alright. Let's find it. Here we go. Thank you to those of you that have done super chats, by the way. Always appreciated. Okay, so why is it? Oh, there you go. There was a lag there. Very bizarre lag. Still a lag right now. Super angry. Super angry. If you go for a Taco Bell, then your butt will be super angry as well. Don't worry, Chris. I will be doing a monkey review. Okay, there we go. I've put that in the chat. All you've got to do, I'm going to pin it right now too. All you got to do is donate through Streamlabs if you want to commission any of those from me. So, yeah, that's up there. So, yep, I guess now I can look at your super chats now that I've let you guys know about that. So, let's see. We got a $2 super chat, and we got another $2 super chat, and then we've got a €2 super chat. I'll write that down right here. Okay, so the first one is from Adam Grunther. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. He says, favorite backstory in Creature Commandos? Ooh, that's a good question. I like them all, funnily enough, so I'd say probably Frankenstein's. Have I put my reaction up for the Frankenstein on my Patreon, the 5th episode of Creature Commandos? Because I had a lot to say about Frankenstein, I did. So, yeah. There was a lot to say there. Yes, you have, says Adam Grunther. Okay, have you seen it, Adam? Have you seen that reaction to that episode? It's a tie between Phosphorus and Nina for me, he says. I had a super chat sent before stream started. Did you, Mr. Frawful? I must have missed it. Let's see. Before the stream started. How can a super chat... You got a super chat here also about thoughts on Wayans returns to Scary Movie. If that's what it is, I'll answer it. If not, let me know and I'll answer your question. You can post it again and I'll answer it without the super chat because you've already done that. You have, Adam. That's good. That's good that you've seen it. I've got the other two episodes are done. I just need to put those up. So I've edited those and those are all done. I just got to put them up and yeah, you'll see my reaction to it. But yeah, I liked Frankenstein's. It was sadistic, messed up, and it got the most shocking reaction from me. I saw it coming because when she said, in my head, I actually saw it coming because when she goes, "Why did you put the dog outside?" I was like, that's kind of obvious why. I wish she did not say that. Because that kind of clued me into something's going to happen here, isn't it? That's why he put the dog outside. But yeah, that was messed up. That seriously was. That wasn't even a fun kind of messed up. Like, I'm glad they did it, but it made me feel dirty. It's that kind of ending where the show makes you... It's like the show surprises you, but it makes you feel gross for having seen what you just saw. That really was great. So, Adam, I remember you said that when I put up my reaction to the first episode and the second episode on Patreon, you said you really wanted to see what I thought of Frankenstein's backstory, and I thought it was... Yeah, you picked the right one. You were right to want to see my reaction to that because it had the biggest impact on me. It was great. It was great, but I also kind of hate myself for liking it because that was messed up, dude. That really was. Charleston, you are exactly on time. I've not even started yet. I've just introduced this new screen right here of commissions that can be done. Alright, so Mr. Forful says, thoughts on Wayans' return to Scary Movie. I thought the Scary Movies were funny, but they were just so disgusting. Like, really disgusting. I feel like the main reason they've got the hard R rating, or here, the 18 rating, which is the equivalent to your NC-17 rating in America, the reason why it got such a bad, like, such a severe rating is because of how grotesque it was with regards to the sexual references. So I saw that as an issue. That was a problem to me. I was like, they did it too much, so I hope they don't go too far into that. But sure, let's see what they do. But didn't he also do, like, the 50 Shades spoof as well? And everyone was talking about how bad that was. So, I don't know, maybe he's lost that magic that he had before. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And Good Times says, just keeping the super chat chain going. Well, thank you very much, Good Times. I appreciate that. So, ooh, Adam Grunther has done another super chat. A $2 one. Thank you, Adam. Adam says, do you like Rick Flag Jr. or Rick Flag Sr. more? I really liked Rick Flag Jr. because Rick Flag Jr. actually... In the first Suicide Squad movie, the writing was iffy, but I liked the actor. In the second one, I would say his outfit, his costume design was a bit iffy. It was definitely very James Gunn. But I liked his character. Like, he was such a good character. Especially when him and Peacemaker were going at it. That was really interesting. That was the best part of the movie. However, I gotta say, I like Rick Flag Sr. more. He just has more of a vibe about him. What's the actor's name who plays Rick Flag Sr.? Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo is a very good actor. He's not a really high-level actor, but he's a very good actor. He was in one of my... In the last couple of years, I did a video where I did the top 5 best movies of the year. I can't remember what that movie was called, but it was kind of like Happy Death Day or Groundhog Day, where he relives a day. I thought that was a great movie, and he was great in it. He was also great in The Purge 2, which I think is my favorite Purge movie, but without a doubt. Boss Level, that was it, Chris Thompson. It was a great movie. So, I think that he's just a very good actor to me. He's underrated, I think. He just appears in a lot of crap he does, like a lot of low-level stuff. But I think the guy, he's an underrated actor. He should be in more stuff, so I'm glad James Gunn is putting him in more stuff. Alright. Mr. Forful, I said, what was your message? I said, if you sent me a super chat and I didn't receive it, send me your message right now without a super chat, just a usual message. I'll read it and I'll answer it. Then we'll move on to talk about Shrek. Goat says, do you collect Funko Pops? No, I don't collect Funko Pops. Honestly, if I had more room and stuff, then maybe, but I'm not really that person that's into collecting that kind of stuff, personally. Oh, Electrify says he's done a $2 super chat. Thank you very much, guys. You're really very generous with the super chats here. He says, I got a smart plan for acting. That's what I meant. Oh, okay, cool. That's good. That's good. You need to have a good plan, so that's good that you've got one. Yeah, he was in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and he was a bit in Civil War, but then he died in there. Yeah, Frank Grillo will be in Superman, and I actually said I actually talk about him being in Superman in my final reaction in my reaction to the final episode of Creature Commandos. I actually talk about that. So again, if you're on my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, you can see my entire reaction to Creature Commandos, and I actually talk about Frank Grillo and him being in the DCU. I've actually got something to say there in regards to continuity and everything. It's too far gone where it's no longer showing, says Mr. Frawful. Don't worry, Mr. Frawful. I'm saying the way you're messaging me right now, put a message in the chat where you don't have to pay anything, and I'll read it, and I'll answer it. Okay. Have you seen Avengers Doomsday concept art has been leaked online? Yes, I have, Fireboy. I've seen the Avengers Doomsday concept art. Looks interesting, but I don't know if it's true, because people said that concept art got leaked before from other projects, and it never ended up happening that way. So, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how accurate it is. Electrify says, are you going to watch along Daredevil? I was thinking of just putting it on my... Because when I watch Daredevil, I'm also going to have to take notes, and I might have to rewind it. So, we'll see if I do a first reaction. If I do a first reaction, it might end up on Patreon. I don't know if I'll do a Let's Watch of it. I might just record my reaction, put it on Patreon, you guys can see it that way, and it'll go on YouTube memberships as well. But I'm thinking of doing a video on Daredevil Born Again, so I need to actually watch that without feeling like I have to... Because when you're live, you feel like you have to entertain people, and you have to go to check to make sure that the live stream is going and everything. And I want to make sure when I'm watching this, I'm paying attention, because I've been waiting for another Daredevil for years, so we'll see how it goes. I'll figure it out closer to the time. Big Bash says, Eric, do you ever look at concept art from cancelled movies? Yes, I do. I do, and yeah, it's sad. Like, Rise of Skywalker, I remember. The cancelled Duel of the Fates movie had some cool concept art, I remember. Big Bash says, how is the box office of Brave New World doing? I don't know, I've not had a look. We've got bigger things to talk about, so I didn't have a look at that. Let's see, yeah, Jen, I'm aware that he was in The Winter Soldier. Mr. Frawful, where's your question? I'm waiting for you to post it again. Then we can get going with the stream. Mr. Frawful says, concept art for Batman Beyond from Lord and Miller. Yeah, that was some good concept arts, but I think everyone saw that concept art. I even put it in my live stream, didn't I? So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah. Do you see Sonic 3 concept art? I think I did, but I can't remember. The Dark Lord said, so the 8 episodes is for 40 to 60 minute episodes, or any length. Like, would 16 20-minute episodes qualify for the 8 40 to 60 minute episode request? Let me see. Let me read that again. Like, would 16 20-minute episodes qualify for the 8 40 to 60? Yeah, I guess it would. Yeah, that would count too. So if you want me to watch something that's like that, then yeah, we will. But I'll be watching 2 episodes in one video, I think. Maybe, rather than just 1, just so I don't have so many episodes. This way I'll get 2 in 1, so it'll be easier, easily distributed, and easier for you guys to see. I'll probably do that. Oh, Mr. Frawful says, glad you liked my idea for a Versus video, was my super chat. Oh, no problem at all. Yeah, a lot of you have good ideas for Versus videos. A lot of you do. It's just a matter of time in terms of making them. So the Puss in Boots one is getting much closer to completion. That's my next one. Then I'm going to get onto Sonic 2 versus Sonic 3. Or maybe all 3 of them. I don't know. I'll have to see what I do. The Movie King says, did you see the early review of Born Again? Yeah, a lot of people say it's great with the early reviews, and they always say that, though, early reviews, and then they end up being bad, so I'm not paying attention to early reviews for Daredevil. I'll just watch the show, then I'll have my own thoughts and opinions on it, and then I'll bring you guys a review. That is my intention, so that's what we'll do. Eric, have you seen Lights Out, the YouTube video by the Shazam director? I have, and I even reviewed the Lights Out movie, so if you give it a search, you'll find it on my channel. Alright, so Unless anyone throws in any more super chats, I think we're about to go get to the actual story now, and we're going to start by talking about Shrek 5. Now, Shrek 5, it released a trailer, and the trailer sparked a lot of, let's just say it sparked a very strong reaction from people. So, yeah, as you can see, the animation doesn't look great. Now, it looks, I'll say this, the more I look at it, the better it does look. But the problem is that when it's moving, that's where the real issues are, and you start to spot it. But look at Donkey right there. He looks like he's just had a prostate exam off camera. It looks like he's just like someone's actually doing something back there, and this is his reaction. Fiona looks a bit awkward, but that's probably because it's just a still image. Shrek, the problem with him is that his face is not round. He's got a very round face usually, but it looks like they've squashed the shape of his head in on the top. So the shape doesn't look right. Now the animation itself, it's great. It's great looking animation. But I don't think this is the kind of animation that you would want for something like Shrek. What made Shrek so great with this animation is that Shrek was a 3D animated movie, but despite it being a 3D animation, like there's a lot of 3D animation out there. We have Frozen, you know, we have Tangled, we've got so much 3D animated movies, even Inside Out. But what made Shrek stand out amongst all of the other 3D animated movies, even from DreamWorks like Despicable Me and How to Train Your Dragon, what made Shrek stand out is that Shrek had like a layer of realism on top of the animated characters. So if you look at the original Shrek movies, 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're not just, the characters are not just smooth on their skin. Their skin is not just smooth like it usually is with 3D animated characters from Pixar and DreamWorks. There was actually some like texture to their face, and it was a touch ugly because they added a layer of realism onto animation. But it was great when they did it because it just gave it was such a unique combination, such a unique blend of animation and realism. Such a unique blend that they managed to put together, and it worked. It gave Shrek its own unique individual style. A style that, quite frankly, we don't see in anything else. I don't think I can think of any other animated movie that has a similar style to what Shrek has. And that's what made Shrek unique, and that's why people love that animation style. And of course, the first movie was made in 2001. Back when that first Shrek movie came out, I think I was 5 or 6. That's how young I was when the first Shrek came out. And yeah, it looked great back then. It has shown its age a little bit, but I'd say it still holds up really well. And then of course Shrek 2 came out, and it improved on the animation. And Shrek 3, it might have been the worst movie, but it still improved on the animation too. And then you had Shrek 4, which also improved on the animation. So what people expected was like a next level up from that. Another kind of like a revision, like a refined revision of the animation. That's what people expected. But instead, they gave us this right here, where they've just completely changed out the animation, and it's not... Sorry, Despicable Me is not DreamWorks, that's Universal, my apologies. But you know what I mean. It's lost that uniqueness to it, and now it kind of looks like every other animated movie. Like, it's lost that Shrek-ism to it. Shrek always had a weight to the animation, and this really is lacking that weight, and that's a big problem to me. It feels like it's really lacking something. That special sauce that Shrek had, this seems to have lost. And that's an issue to me. That's a big, big problem. Okay, Super Angry has asked a very good question, albeit in his angry way, but a very good question. He goes, Eric, if you have a problem with the new animation of Shrek 5, why do you not have a problem with the animation for Puss in Boots 2? Grrr, is what he says. That's how it sounds like, so I said it the way it sounds like how he's saying it. Grrr. Well, the reason it doesn't bother me very much that the animation... The reason that the Shrek 2 did not bother me very much is because it still looked like Puss in Boots. Yes, it had more of a 2.5D style, but it very much still looked like Puss in Boots. Like, when I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, that's clearly Puss. When I saw these characters, you can see my trailer reaction on my Patreon or my YouTube memberships. When I saw these characters in when I first saw the trailer, for a second I didn't even recognize them. Especially Shrek. I almost didn't recognize him. I was like, what the hell? Well, I said something else if you actually saw my Shrek video. But he threw me off. He really did. I was shocked at how different he looked. And that's not what you want. With Puss in Boots, it still looked like Puss. This did not look like Shrek to me, and that was a problem. So I wish... That's the issue here, is that they've abandoned the style. They didn't even give it the Puss in Boots 2 animation style. It's a completely different style. Now, I said this in my trailer reaction as well. I said... I like the animation, but it's just not Shrek animation. So the animation itself is not bad, but it's bad if you think about it in Shrek terms. It's not Shrek animation. So that was the problem to me, the fact that this is not Shrek animation, and I expected the animation to be very much in keeping with the previous 4 movies. Just think of what Toy Story did. The Toy Story animation got significantly better, the CG, as the films went on, but they always maintained the original style from the original Toy Story films. But now with this, they've abandoned it. They've abandoned that style. And it looks less ugly now as a result. It just looks wrong, but it doesn't have that ugly look that Shrek had before. That touch of ugly, that touch of reality. It's lost that, and that is a big problem to me. Kevin has done a $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Kevin. And he says, do you like GTA? Yes, I do like GTA. Heard copies of GTA 6 might cost $100. Yeah, that's what the gaming industry is trying to do, is they're trying to make games much more expensive. So they're trying to make them about $100 a piece, and then they're going to go up even higher than that. Also, in terms of what you just mentioned, Shrek had video games back in the day, and I remember when they were about $30 back in the day. Sorry, not $30, £30 back in the day. That's when games were cheaper, and they were on the Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo DS, the PSP, the PS2, the PS3. Oh man, those were the days. I remember those days. Yeah. Yeah. And the games were cheaper back then, but now, yeah, they're going to $100. So the rumors about GTA 6 being $100, I'm sure they're true, and I'm sure people will spend that kind of money when GTA 6 comes out. So, yeah, Billy says, I still have a Super Smash Brothers but Shrek version. Yeah, there was a Super Smash Brothers. What was that game? Was it Shrek Super Slam? Where it was like a Super Smash Brothers game, but with Shrek characters. Is that what it was? Connor, thanks for joining the stream, buddy. I appreciate that. Josh, man, great to see you too. But yeah, that's what they're essentially going to try to do, is they're going to try to up the prices of the games. So yeah, thank you, Kevin, for that super chat. Really appreciate it. And yes, GTA probably will cost $100 when it comes out, when they release GTA 6, which is unfortunate. But that's just where games are going. Games are becoming an expense now. So yeah, I haven't played Warhammer Bot, I'm sorry to say. I think I've seen Stand By Me Blizzard. I can't remember. So we got 80 of you watching. That's a big number of you guys coming in to watch. Thank you very much for joining the live stream as we talk about Shrek 3. If you've got any questions that you want to ask, or if you've got any points or any observations that you want to put in and about the animation for Shrek, by all means, go ahead, comment. I'll start reading some of your comments right now. Because, yeah, Shrek has... There is a lot of... I don't even know what else to say. Why would they do this? I'm just confused. I have no idea why they would do this. It blows my mind. Lion Main Man, thank you for joining the stream. You seem to be a new member. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate that. Everyone, give a warm welcome to Lion Main Man. He says, you think they should redesign them to make them the OG designs we all know? Yes, I do. They should definitely redesign them to make them the old designs that we all knew, that we all know. Because those designs, there was nothing wrong with them. So I don't understand why they changed them here. Did they lose them or something? Because if you've seen that show, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, the first season, the characters looked very different. And then in the later seasons, they all looked, I would say, better, but they looked very different. And the reason why is because apparently the Korean team that had the animated characters for the Billy and Mandy animated characters, apparently they lost them. So they had to redo them, and that's why the animation came out looking different. So is that what happened with this? Did they lose the CG models or something? Because you'd think they wouldn't lose CG models like this, or characters like this. But it seems like they have. Goat says, fun fact, there was a PS2 Simpsons wrestling game. Was there? I remember there was a PlayStation 1 wrestling game, but I don't remember there being a PlayStation 2 wrestling game. Batman235 says, what the fuck? What the fuck? That's what you said. Yeah, I know. Jess said, Hanna-Barbera passed away. That's why they changed its animation. Changed animation for what, though? Donkey looks like he did drugs. Yeah. That is another one, Lin Main Man. Yeah. I said it looks like he got a prostate exam, but him doing drugs, yeah, he does look like that, doesn't he? It just looks wrong. Why would they change that? I don't get it. Billy says, Eric, do you think they are trolling us with the meme thing and animation so they will mock it at the end like they have been doing with fairy tales? No, I don't think so. This costs money, so I don't think that's what they were doing. Looks like an actual screw-up on their part, is what it looks like. Fiona looks like she had plastic surgery. In this particular shot, yes, but if you watch it in motion, she looks fine. Fiona, I thought, actually looked the best out of all of them. She looked the least impacted. But yeah, she still has lost that, you know, that little touch of realism. It looks like a TV show, says Blizzard. Blizzard looks to also be like a new member on this live stream, so thank you very much for joining, Blizzard. Unless you have always been a member, but you just changed your name, in which case I apologize. Donkey looks like he's homeless. Yeah, Donkey looks like a walking meme in of himself, doesn't he? Yeah, but we've also got Zendaya here, which is interesting to have a more modern actor in Shrek, because Shrek very much felt like it casted like older actors of the time, so to have a newer actor in, it's a very bizarre feeling, you know, a more modern day actor. So yeah, do you guys have anything to say about... Do you have anything else to say about this? Anything that you guys also thought about the animation? Or is there any of you that like the animation? If you do, let me know. Excuse that sound. Big Bash says Zendaya is actually a fan of Shrek. Well, that doesn't surprise me, you know, everyone's a fan of Shrek. Dark Lord says, I haven't watched Shrek, so I don't really care. The Dark Lord, you've not seen Shrek. Shrek is one of the most iconic franchises. It was meant to do... It was meant to do a couple of things. One, it was meant to compete with Disney, and the other thing is that it was meant as an FU to Disney. Because one of the producers, I think, for this movie actually was supposed to get a promotion at Disney, but I think he didn't. And he felt disgruntled by them, so he left. And this whole movie, Shrek, about the whole spoof thing with fairy tale creatures, was essentially meant to take a big jab at Disney, essentially. So, yeah. And Shrek has got so many adult jokes in it. When I was a kid, I remember watching it in the cinema. The adults were laughing more than the kids. And I didn't get that. They were laughing at scenes where I was like, what's the joke? There is no joke here. Why are you laughing? Or if there was a joke there, I was like, come on, it wasn't that funny. Like when Donkey says about the building, about Lord Farquaad's castle. Donkey says to Fiona, Shrek says he thinks Lord Farquaad's compensating for something, which I think means he has and then poof, like Shrek just hits him and knocks him down. The adults were laughing so hard, it sounded like they were hurting themselves. Like, it hurt for them to laugh as loud as they were laughing. And I remember as a kid, I was like, that was funny that he tripped Donkey. But why are you laughing so hard? It wasn't that funny. And now that I'm older, I know why. Like, they put adult jokes in there that went completely over our head. Like I said, I was 5 or 6 when the first Shrek came out. And it's amazing that they were able to do that. That really was. That just, it's very smart how they can have adult jokes in there without the kids knowing it. And Shrek had a lot of adult jokes where the kids didn't know. And that's something I'm looking forward to this movie with. I'm looking forward to seeing the adult jokes and how they do them. And I feel like Shrek is perfect timing for Shrek to come out now, because there's a lot of movies that have just played it very safe. Movies get very offended these days, that people even asked and said, can you even do jokes like what Shrek did? You know, adult jokes like what Shrek did in a kid's movie today. And because people said people just get a lot more sensitive towards these things now. And I think, honestly, it would be perfect time for a modern day Shrek movie to try to bring that back. It would be really interesting and cool if they could, so that's what I hope. Crazy Cat Lady. Bart says, I remember watching Shrek when I was a kid. Yeah. Wow, Goat has also never seen Shrek. Cole, I can't tell you that. Because Puss in Boots, I'm actually working on a versus video, so I can't rank that. That'll be a spoiler for you. The Shrek movies, I also want to cover them at some point as well, but right now I'll say my favourite one is Shrek 1, my least favourite is Shrek 3. I won't tell you about the others. I will say, though, a lot of people don't like Shrek 4, or they say it's nothing special. I think it's actually pretty good. I actually really enjoy Shrek 4. Saw that many times as a kid, although as a kid we never really watched Shrek the third after the first time. I think we saw it a second time because the rest of the family wanted to watch it. After that we were pretty much done. And there were a couple funny jokes in there, but man was that a bad movie. That Shrek 3 was very bad. And the director for Shrek 3 actually came and directed Puss in Boots 1, believe it or not. Andrew Edit says Shrek 2 is my favourite. Jess says Shrek 4 is good but not the best. I can see how you think that. Khan says, Eric, the animation gives off Minions vibe. Gives me at least. Yeah, it does look more like the modern animated movies. It doesn't look like it's got that classic animation design that the original Shrek films had of the day, of the time. That's a shame. Don't mind me. I'm just... Because I've been talking for the last 45 minutes, I don't know why, I was feeling like very hollow in my stomach. So I'm just having a bit of sugar, essentially. Alright. Khan says, I really hope the actual trailer of the movie is better. I hope so too. This was just a teaser. This is not... What we saw here is not even going to be in the final movie. This is literally just like an announcement. This is... I don't know, have you guys ever seen the teaser for Toy Story 2? It was a fantastic teaser. It got a lot of laughs in the cinema, and this is back when there was no internet like there is today. You couldn't look up trailers. In order to see new trailers, you would see them for the first time in the cinema. When you'd go to the theater and you would watch a different movie, then you would, for the first time, see a trailer to an upcoming movie through that. It's not like now where it's on YouTube and everything. And I remember when there was a Toy Story 2 sign when they went to... I was so excited. I looked at my dad and I was so excited. We came to watch a different movie, but I was like, I want to see Toy Story 2. And it was a really good teaser. I remember everyone laughed when Woody's like, howdy, 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 everyone. It's good to be back. And then Buzz Lightyear shows up and says, greetings. And then Woody's like, wait, I'm sorry. Is he in this too? And then Buzz says, excuse me, pull string boy. What kind of movie would Toy Story 2 be without? Then he presses his wings and says, Buzz Lightyear. And then Woody just looks all moody and then looks at us at the screen and goes, a good movie. And then it had the boys back in town. That was, basically watch the Toy Story 2 teaser, then come back to this, and this will make more sense. They're calling it a cast announcement, but really it's a teaser. It's a good old-fashioned teaser. So I think the teaser they did for this was actually really good. If only the animation was better. That's the only thing I would say. If the animation was better, then this would have been a great teaser. People would have been talking about it like in the most positive of ways. But instead, it was trending for all the wrong reasons instead. So, yeah. Crazy Cat Lady has done a £2.47 super chat. Sorry, Streamlabs chat. Thank you very much, Crazy Cat Lady. But like I say, you're always a nice cat lady, not a crazy one that I know of. Crazy Cat Lady says, I love the Shrek movies. I'm watching the Oscars tonight because I want to see if Wild Robot will win. Ooh, the Wild Robot. If you guys have not seen my top 5 best movies of the year list, be sure to watch it because I put the Wild Robot in that. But yeah, I hope the Wild Robot wins. That movie deserves to win. Beautiful movie, the way they did that. Great soundtrack as well. Jess says, hey Eric, do you agree that Shrek looks like Gru and Fiona looks like Amelia Perez? No, I don't agree with that. Gru's got his own design and Amelia Perez, Fiona doesn't look like that. I was going to say something mean. I was going to say Fiona looks hotter than Amelia Perez. Big Bash says onions have layers. Yep, that was such an iconic line from Shrek. Charles says you need to watch the movie Flow. It beat The Wild Robot at the Golden Globes. It's a beautiful movie. It looked like a beautiful movie, and it was made by very few people, if I'm understanding it correctly. And yes, I do want to watch that. It looks like a beautiful movie, and I've got a nice big OLED monitor now, so this is the place to watch a movie like that. I really do want to see that, but I'm waiting for it to come out. It's not coming out until this month, isn't it? At least in American theaters. I don't know about the UK, which is where I am. All right. Hui, that's a very interesting point. Hui actually likes the animation for this, and he thinks it's an improvement. He says, I honestly welcome the changes to the Shrek designs and animation, as I feel the originals were too uncanny valley and made me uncomfortable. Well, you know what? There is some truth to what you said. They do have a bit of an uncanny valley look now in terms of aging. That's probably where they look a bit dated. But honestly, it's something that you very easily get used to as far as I'm concerned. If you pause an image, then yes, the uncanny valley effect is there. But to me, I think it's okay for me. But here's the thing though. That uncanny valley effect that you're talking about, excuse me. That uncanny valley effect you're talking about, they could easily get rid of that. They can maintain the animation that people love in the first 4 Shrek movies, but in modern day, just get rid of the uncanny valley look. You know, so they could still have maintained the animation while getting rid of the uncanny valley. That's what I mean. It's been 15 years since they made the 4th Shrek movie. So we've got the technology now to where the animation can look better, and they can get rid of the uncanny valley look. So I think that the new animation is still unnecessary if you take that into account. So yeah, what do the rest of you guys think? Good Time says I also like the new animation. Like I said as well, I like the animation, but I just think it needs to be. It's just not. It just doesn't fit Shrek. That's my problem with it. Gregory says, Eric, what are your thoughts on the suicide? Sorry, not. My thoughts suicide. Is it favorite James Gunn movie? I don't know. I liked Guardians 3 a lot. I'll take Guardians 3 as my favorite. Let me see. What was it? Big Bash. It says, Eric, what do you think of the design for Shrek's daughter? It'll take some getting used to, I think. Because I don't think her design looks great. And I don't get why she has a nose piercing. I'm not fond of that design choice. She looks... I don't know, she stands out from the other 3. Let's put it that way. She doesn't blend in with them. She stands out from them. And I don't know, are they going to introduce touchscreens and things in this Shrek movie? Because they did show the mirror on the wall is now like a touchscreen device, like a smartphone. So it makes me think, are they going to do that? It'd be interesting if they did. I remember watching the first Shrek movie so many times in elementary school, says Cole. Oh yeah, me and my brothers and sisters, we watched it over and over and over and over again. Billy says, what do you think their goal is with the memes? Wouldn't DreamWorks know better than to use internet humor and horribly date the movie in a year? I don't know. We'll have to see exactly what they do with that, because clearly Shrek is going to be modernized in some way. I don't know how they're going to modernize it, but they're going to modernize it in some ways. However, if you look at Puss in Boots 2, that didn't feel modernized. If anything, that felt very much like it could have actually been made back in the early 2000s. So I hope they don't modernize it too much, but that's the problem I think we'll face when we have Zendaya's character, you know, Shrek's daughter. Because there is a big chance that that Shrek's daughter is going to be the problem, is going to be the one that's going to bring in smartphones and memes and all this stuff. I hope they don't do that. I hope they do what they did with Puss in Boots 2, is which they made a very classy movie. A movie that did not succumb to all of the tropes of modern day, you know, Gen Z. They actually treated it like a true Shrek movie. And I hope that this new one doesn't fall into the trappings of modern day movies where they're trying to act very much like with the smartphone generation. So I really hope they don't screw that up. I really hope they don't. Blizzard says it has a lot of heart. What does? The Puss in Boots movie or this Shrek and little teaser? DC09 says, hey Eric, what do you think Batman's costume will look like in DCU Brave and the Bold movie? I don't know, we'll have to see. I don't even think James Gunn knows yet either. Because when Batman did show up in Creature Commandos, they had to put it in such a silhouette that you couldn't even see it. Because James Gunn says, I'm not confident with enough yet to know what we're going to do. So yeah, that's something we have to wait for and see. Hey Eric, did you laugh at that police chase in Shrek 2 and when Donkey said, police brutality? Yeah, I never understood police brutality when I was younger. Even when that guard goes, catnip, and then Puss in Boots goes, that's not mine. I did not get that when I was younger, but that guard planted it on him, like what they do. Yeah, and they goes, what do they go? We got a white, what do they say? We got a white Volvo or something. So they're basically taking the piss out of, what's the guy's name? They're parodying the guy that got arrested, and I've lost his name. Oh, what was it? What was the name of the guy that they were parodying when he was being chased by the police? Oh, why is his name gone? It's lost me. I've forgotten. The name's not coming to me. But yeah, I remember all that. That was great. Seriously, Shrek was a phenomenal thing. So, yeah. Okay, what we're gonna do now. Eric, I was asking you a question, says Joshman, about Shrek 5. Was it outsourced to other animated studios? It probably was, but the thing is, you still expect them to know better and to follow the animation that they've done before. I mean, Toy Story 3 was done like a decade later, and look at that, they got the same animation models and everything. You expect them to do the same thing, but they haven't, and that's what bothers me. And a lot of people as well. Okay. Hold on a second. If that is all, we can actually now move on to the DC story and what James Gunn had announced. So does anyone else want to say anything else about Shrek, or are you ready to move on? Batman, of course Batman's going to say DC. Electrify says, I haven't watched the Shrek film, so I can't comment on this. But I get why people don't like the animation style. Yeah. Turns out it's a big thing. In my trailer reaction, I said I didn't even know if this was a problem to other people or just me. But when I found out that everyone had that issue, I was like, oh wow, so it wasn't just me. Because in my trailer reaction, which is on my Patreon and my YouTube memberships, I'm watching the trailer for the first time and I had no idea what the internet at large thought about that trailer. So I watched it and I was like, wow, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the problem. That's what I was thinking. But no, after I finished the trailer reaction, and it was a long trailer reaction, I had a lot to say there, and I even gave you some memories of when I first saw Shrek. I actually went and looked at everyone else's reaction, and yeah, a lot of people didn't like it. So I was like, oh, cool. So I'm not the one asshole that just didn't like it. A lot of people didn't. So that made me feel better. Key Wayne Hill says, I like the animation. Again, I like the animation too, but I just don't think it's Shrek. It's the best way to describe it. Alright. Key Wayne Hill says, I like Shrek the Third, even if it's the weakest, but it's not bad. I actually thought it was bad. A lot of people thought it was bad, I remember. I hope Shrek 5 throws shade at Disney. I hope so too. That would be a great thing to see. That's what Shrek always kind of was known for. So yeah, I'd like to see more of that myself as well. I would. Okay. Time to move on to the next story, everyone. So, this is a big one. There's a lot to talk about here. Now, there was a recent press event that James Gunn did with his producing partner, Peter Safran, And they didn't really have anything to show to the members of the press that were there. So instead, they just did more of like an open Q&A session where they said, ask us whatever you want, and we will answer you. That's essentially what went down. They says, just ask us any questions you want to ask, and we will give you answers. So that's what happened. And people asked their questions, and we got some answers. So that's what I'm going to go through right now. So, first of all, what they were asked. Give me a second. Where is it? Could have sworn I had it. I don't know why that is not here now. Alright. So, the first thing they were asked was about James Mangold's Swamp Thing. That's the movie that James Mangold's supposed to be making. And they said that it's not ready yet. The script is not ready yet, and James Mangold's taking his time. So, James Gunn, he basically announced this project, and now he's saying that, yeah, it's not ready yet. But it's like, you've announced it a while back at this point, and the script isn't even ready yet? In fact, why did you even announce it and give that long announcement if it's nowhere near being even done? Didn't James Gunn say he's not going to greenlight anything unless they've got a finished script? So if the script is not even finished, why did he greenlight it and announce it? And that's not the first one of these projects on this list that I'm going to talk about where he's announced something and given it the green light, even though the script is not finished. That's going to happen more than you'll know. So, yes, that's one thing. Now, Clayface. Well, before we talk about Clayface, let's first talk about the movie that is coming up, which is Superman. There you go. Now, Superman is going to be the next movie that comes out. We all know that. It's coming out this July. It'll be releasing alongside or within very close proximity to the next Jurassic World and also Fantastic Four, First Steps. So, highly anticipated movie, and Superman is going to be coming out in that month. So we know Superman's already coming out. But then the next thing that is going to come out in 2026, next year, is Clayface, which is said to be a $40 million low-budget horror movie that's meant to be like a traditional Warner Brothers horror movie that we get nowadays, like The Conjuring and Annabelle and all those kinds of films. It's meant to be a horror movie, a body horror kind of horror movie, and a tragic horror movie about this guy that just kind of goes insane. Now, from what I've heard, essentially it's more about him just morphing his face. They don't say anything about him morphing his body. So that makes it sound like it's very realistic. And realistic, now this is where things get interesting. It's like, well, if it's realistic, then which universe is Clayface in? Is he in the Matt Reeves universe, or is he in the DCU, James Gunn's universe? But then I was thinking, spoilers for Creature Commandos, but Clayface actually shows up in Creature Commandos, and he's like the full-on comic book Clayface, like the full-on, like, fantastical Clayface. And the thing is, if Clayface is going to be fantastical, that's what because Creature Commandos is based in the same world as the upcoming Superman movie and the rest of the DCU. So if that DCU's Clayface is that Clayface, and this is going to be a more realistic Clayface, and plus Matt Reeves is producing this Clayface movie, it's like, shouldn't that mean that it's going to be in Matt Reeves' universe? It's going to be in the same universe that the Batman and the Penguin are in. Clayface is going to be in that. That's what you'd think, but at the same time, they've not announced or made clear if it's going to be in the DCU or if it's going to be in Matt Reeves' universe. But for some reason, Matt Reeves is producing it. That just makes things confusing. You'd think that Matt Reeves would only produce movies that he's going to be a part of, but nope. Instead, he's producing movies that are also going to be outside of his universe. And this is not the only one that he's producing that's outside of his universe, so it's weird. We have no idea. And like I said, the story sounds more realistic, but the universe that James Gunn is setting up in the DCU is apparently meant to be more... It's apparently meant to be more fantastical, unrealistic. So I don't know which universe are they going to put this Clayface movie in? Because this sounds like a realistic Clayface movie, but they're going to put him in. But they're going to make a realistic movie, and they're going to have Matt Reeves produce it. But they're still not telling us if it's going to be if it's going to be in Matt Reeves' universe or if it's going to be in the DCU. That is so bizarre to me. So yeah, that's strange. But yeah, after that, we have the Lanterns. And Lanterns is a TV show. It's a show that's going to be on HBO and also Max, if I'm not mistaken. And that's going to be a show in the DCU, although one of the showrunners actually said something recently, which was rather concerning. The showrunner actually said that this is taking place in its own universe, meaning not in the DCU and not in Matt Reeves' universe. So it's its own. That makes no sense. The only reason I was excited for this actor that was cast as Jon Stewart is because he looks like Jon Stewart, but also because I was like, oh great, imagine him with David Cornsweet's Superman. I thought that was going to be such a cool pairing, but now they're saying no, it's in separate universes. And it's meant to be very grounded as well, and it's meant to be very very adult as well, they said. There's a leak that came out saying it's adult, the Green Lantern show. The Lanterns show, but I'm like, what's going on? Why is this not part of the DCU? If this is supposed to be in the DCU, this Lanterns show, but they're saying no, it's they're saying that it's separate. That's what the showrunners said. Now, James Gunn could say something different. It all depends on what James Gunn said, but I don't know why those creators said it as separate. Unless they meant they were not considering it as separate. I don't know. I don't know why they would say that. Hui Tumo says Lanterns is part of the DCU. Who said that? Did James Gunn say that? Because recently, the showrunners of the show, one of the showrunners, or both of them, I can't remember, one of them said that, yeah, it's separate. So that's not a good thing. The universe are starting to become confusing, says Khan. Yeah, I know. Hui Tumo says, yes, Gunn said it. Okay, if he said it, that's good. I did not see him say it. But yeah, that's such a stupid thing, though, for the showrunner to say. It's like, what is he doing? It's like, I know he wants it to be, maybe he wants it to be a separate so he can just focus on that. It's not part of the bigger universe, but the thing is, that's essentially what he's signing up for. So I don't know why he said that. So yeah, we got Lanterns, and there's already a promo image out there that they've released, and that looks cool. But yeah, that's coming out next year. What we've also got is The Batman Part 2. The Batman Part 2 is coming out in 2027. That's ages from now, which is a shame, but apparently the script is not finished yet. So Matt Reeves is still working on that. Plus, he seems to be going through some personal problems in real life, apparently. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what goes on. But Matt Reeves is not having it easy, essentially. Alright, next up, Supergirl. That's going to be coming out in, I think it's he said 2026, but that's not what I'm talking about. The interesting thing about Supergirl is that we might get a credit scene at the end of Superman where she shows up. So, that'll be interesting, that will be. But yeah, Supergirl is a movie that is that they're working on as well. And then we have, this is where things start to get weird now. Now, first of all, before I actually go on to that other stuff, they did talk about other stuff with regards to the Batman. They actually said, one of the questions that the press were able to ask was, are we going to get a Penguin Season 2? And James Gunn essentially says it depends if... Essentially what he was saying was, it depends if Colin Farrell wants to do it. And Colin Farrell was at the SAG Awards where he was asked about if he wanted to do more, and he says that he's going to be definitely doing another movie, but it didn't sound like he was very enthusiastic, or it didn't sound like he was pushing for a Penguin Season 2. He's very much like, what we did was so good and they don't want to ruin that, you know, that kind of thing. Which I totally understand. But yeah, it's interesting that... they're not going to get a Penguin Season 2 or something, it seems like. In which case, they should do a Catwoman show, where Sophia is in there, you know, with Catwoman. Maybe that's what they should do next. So yeah, that's what I think. Okay, take care, Hui Toonmore. Hope you enjoy the Oscars. And then another question they asked is, will Robert Pattinson be in the DCU? Will he be the DCU's Batman? And James Gunn essentially was saying, it's uncertain. At least right now. And unlikely is another thing he said, is that it's not necessarily going to happen. But he said it, but the way he said it, it's like there's a little chance that it could happen. In which case, it makes me believe the rumors that Matt Reeves was like, he wants to keep his Batman separate. But also, I think they don't have a definitive answer yet until Superman comes out and we see how it does. If it's a blazing success, then yes, I'm sure Matt Reeves will want to make it part of his Batman part of that DCU. But at the same time, I think Matt Reeves wants to be the one behind Batman because it's doing wonders for his name as a director in Hollywood and as a writer. And plus he did very good with the Penguin show, so it shows that his little corner of the DCU of DC is working. And I don't think he wants anyone else to mess that up or take control of his Batman or anything. So I understand why Matt Reeves doesn't want to do it. And James Gunn and Matt Reeves are two completely different types of creatives, so I can understand his trepidation. And James Gunn also said that the DCU Batman, he might show up before Batman the Brave and the Bold, which is just weird. I mean, it's just a very simple thing. You got to do a Batman movie, you got to do a Superman movie, and then you got to do a Wonder Woman movie, and then that's it. That's how you set them up. But sounds like he's got a mess on his hands the way he's describing all of this. And okay, now we're getting on to some animation stuff right here. Now, one of the things we're going to get is, if I show you right here, Blue Beetle. We're apparently going to get a Blue Beetle kids show that's going to come out. And that's just bizarre. This is something they're trying to do in their animation sector. So they've got a Blue Beetle movie. They've got a dynamic duo movie, which is meant to have which Robins was it? It's meant to have, let me see, a Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, and it's meant to be an animated movie that reimagines their origin stories, and it's meant to have animation in it and also puppets. So, I don't know, it seems like they're trying to go for an Into the Spider-Verse type animation thing, but that does sound interesting, but also wrong to split the two Robins up and to basically have the two Robins there teaming up without a Batman, and then for them to have completely different origin stories. That just sounds very bizarre to me, that does. So, yeah, that's one of the things they're doing. And it's also produced by Matt Reeves, which makes things even more confusing. So, yeah. And then what they've also got is right here. I could show you what they've got here. Here, next up, they've got My Adventures with Green Lantern. Or Adventures of Green Lantern. And I think the reason they're doing that is because they're trying to very much copy the Superman animated show, which is My Adventures of Superman. I think, here's the show right here. They're trying to copy the My Adventures with Superman, except even though it's My Adventures with Green Lantern, and a lot of people like that show. People have actually asked me if I could react to that show, which, again, you got the commissions for that, ultimately, if you want me to react to an episode or maybe the whole season. But yeah, it's clearly they're trying to continue more of this and do some more kiddie stuff. But here's where things get weird. The Green Lantern is not Jon Stewart. It's not even Hal Jordan. Heck, it's not even Guy Gardner. The Green Lantern they've got here is a Green Lantern that I've never heard of before, called Jessica Cruz. There she is. So they're not. Whereas that My Adventures with Superman has Clark Kent in it and Superman. This new show that they're doing, My Adventures of Green Lantern, it's going to have a completely different Green Lantern in it. So that's very bizarre. And then they've also got high schooler Jessica Cruz, and then they've got a DC Superpowers show, which will essentially have Principal Martian Manhunter. I'm not kidding. I wish I was making this up. Principal Martian Manhunter, who is going to be like the principal of a school of young superheroes, and those superheroes will include Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aquagirl, Green Lantern, and Terra, which if you've seen Teen Titans, you'll know who Terra is. That is just so weird. And then they've also got a Starfire show they're also doing as well. So that's a lot of weird kiddie cartoons that they're doing. It's so weird. And then they've also still got if you've heard that Daniel Craig is rumored to be playing Sergeant Rock, well, that's what this movie is. They're still trying to make a Sergeant Rock movie for some reason, which is something that no one cares about. And Sergeant Rock is apparently not going to be played by Daniel Craig. Apparently he was just... the people at the the journalists, they asked that. The press, they asked that and said that, will Daniel Craig be in it? And they go, no, that was just a rumor. So, yeah, essentially, that's just a rumor. So, um, I don't even know why they're making a Sergeant, a Sergeant Rock. Like, I just don't understand it. Why would they even want to do that? That's just so bizarre. Sergeant Rock. Now, here's another thing. Now they're also trying to make a Teen Titans movie. They're trying to make a Teen Titans movie, and it's going to be helmed by the Supergirl writer, which is interesting. Apparently, the Supergirl writer is a big fan of the Teen Titans, and James Gunn is allowing her to write something, to write another thing in there. But why the Teen Titans? I feel like that's too early to bring the sidekicks in. That's something you do later on, like phases later. Even Marvel were bringing in the sidekicks in like phase 4, not phase 1. So yeah. And then another movie that I'm still wanting to do is Bane and Deathstroke. The Bane and Deathstroke movie. So that's something they're still doing. I don't know who's going to be a part of that, so we'll have to wait and see. And also, he's like that announcement he made, he's still trying to make The Authority. Right there. He's trying to make The Authority. And apparently the script is still not ready with that, so he doesn't even know when it will be ready. Which is bizarre. This is such a huge, long list of stuff that they're making. And The Authority, I'm surprised that The Authority is another one that he greenlit, even though they didn't have a finished script. So that's another weird thing. Again, very, very bizarre. So yeah, that's the thing going on there. And plus, the engineer character, who's played by Maria Gabriella, she's in the new Superman movie. We've actually seen set photos of her. So it's bizarre that they're setting up a character from The Authority, and the movie is not even anywhere near being ready to start shooting yet. It's not even anywhere near ready to finishing the script yet. So that's kind of bizarre and weird. And it's like, how are you going to be spacing these out? Are people even going to remember Maria Gabriella as the engineer in Superman by the time you actually release the movie or start shooting it? That seems a bit like a Marvel issue they're running into, where they've introduced a character, but then it's going to take so long for their next chapter to come. So that's a little bit weird, that is. And then, now we're moving on to stuff that's going to come out, some other TV shows. Peacemaker Season 2 is coming out this August, so that's a month after Superman comes out. So as a DC fan, we're going to be eating well. We're going to be having a Superman movie, and then the very next month, we're going to have Peacemaker Season 2. And the rumor is that Bane will be teased at the end of Peacemaker Season 2. And so as well as Bane being teased at the end of Peacemaker Season 2, apparently Lex Luthor, the rumor is that Nicholas Hoult has shot a scene for Peacemaker Season 2. So that's interesting. I wonder how that will work and how that will look. That's bizarre. We'll see how it goes. That'll be interesting, but I hope it doesn't feel cheap. I hope they're good cameos and not bad ones. That's what I really hope. So yeah, we'll get teased. Bane will apparently get teased at the end of Peacemaker Season 2, and we will also get Lex Luthor apparently making an appearance in there. So yeah, Peacemaker Season 2 coming this August, a month after Superman. Now, next up is The Waller Show. Now, Waller is a show that James Gunn has talked about wanting to make after the first season of Peacemaker. Apparently, Waller originally was meant to be like Peacemaker Season 2, but now he's pushed that off, and he doesn't know when that's going to come out. Like, that's so far along, so that's bizarre. It makes me wonder why they're even bothering with The Waller Show. Like, how important can it be if they can just push it off that much? Because Waller very much I thought was going to be a continuation of what happened at the end of Peacemaker Season 1, which was a huge deal. So yeah, it looks like they're not continuing. They're not continuing that with this show because we don't know when the show will even come out. And now, the other show that they have no idea when it's going to come out is a show called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is meant to be something that takes place on Wonder Woman's planet of Themyscira before she's born, I think. And apparently they don't even know when progress is going to happen with that either. So that is also, I think, a shame that they don't know what they're going to do with that. And by the way, Jake has donated $2 $79. Let me just write that down. Canadian dollars. 279. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jake. I really appreciate it. This reminds me of the old days of when you used to like donate and things. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. You do know how much the donations help, and boy, do I need it. First few months of YouTube revenue is always very, very tight when the new year starts, and it still is like that. So thank you very much. I appreciate that, Jake. So yeah, Paradise Lost. He doesn't know when that's going to happen, which is a shame because it means when is Wonder Woman going to show up? We know he's working on Superman right now. We're getting Superman. We know he's trying to figure out what to do with Batman. But how come there's no Wonder Woman yet? Like, that's the Trinity. You can see the image right here. You got Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman showing up right there. And the fact he hasn't even got his Wonder Woman, he doesn't even know when she's going to show up, is concerning to me. And then he is still trying to make Booster Gold. I was introduced to this character in Smallville, and I liked the actor they got to play him, and he is a white guy. And unfortunately, they're trying to get Kumail Nanjiani to play him. Now, I don't mind that they're getting him to play him because of his race. I mind they're getting him to play him because he's not funny. I don't find Kumail Nanjiani funny. He's got one type of comedy, and he does it in all his movies all the time. He never changes up his routine. He comes across as more cringy to me than anything else. So I have a big problem with the fact that they're bringing Kumail Nanjiani in here. So that's a big shame, I think, that they're bringing Kumail Nanjiani back. I'm not particularly fond of that. And but apparently he still wants to make that movie, but the script is nowhere near done yet either, so that will also take a while. So yeah, this is basically the list of DC stuff. I've missed a couple of the text because there's a lot to cover, but this is essentially the DC stuff that we're getting, apparently, and yeah, it's a lot. A bit messy, I'd say. It's not really very structured either. It seems quite scattered. And I did think that James Gunn would have done better in terms of structuring everything, but it seems like he actually hasn't. He needs to structure this better because it seems quite messy. How come we're getting a Clayface movie before a Batman movie? How come we're getting a Supergirl movie before a Wonder Woman movie? There are a lot of questions I have here. And yeah, it's quite concerning. Oh, Jake has done a $28 donation through a super chat. Thank you very much, buddy. I really appreciate that. That reminds me of the good old days. That actually gave me a little bit of nostalgia. Thank you very much, Jake. Let's see, what is Jake asking? Do you think they should make a new Superman video game? There hasn't been a Superman solo game since 2006. By the way, have you heard of Beware the Batman? Cartoon Network did the show dirty. I'll answer the Batman question first. Yes, I did hear of Beware the Batman. I tried to watch it back in the day when I was a kid, and I could only watch a couple episodes, then I was done. I was like, you know what? It's just the animation wasn't doing it for me. I didn't like the version of Alfred they had, and the villains that they got really obscure villains. They weren't able to get any of the top tier villains for some reason, so they couldn't have Joker or Two-Face or Penguin or any of them, which is bizarre. They opened up with like Professor Pig and his accomplice, who I can't even remember who that was anymore, and that threw me off. Although Professor Pig was great in Batman Arkham Knight, very freaky. So yeah, I don't. If you're talking about that, then yes, in that regard, Cartoon Network did do the show very dirty. And do you think they should make a new Superman video game? There hasn't been a Superman solo game since 2006. Yes, I do. I've wanted a Superman game ever since the first Batman Arkham Asylum came out in 2009. That game was so amazing that everyone was like, "Wow, Rocksteady! If this is what you can do for Batman, then what can you do for Superman?" And apparently, they did more Batman games, and then apparently after Arkham Knight they pitched a Superman game to Rocksteady and Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers said no, we want you to do a Suicide Squad game instead, and that's how we got Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So yeah, ridiculous. We should be all enjoying a Superman game right now, but we're not because of Warner Brothers. So yeah, I would want them to make a Superman game. I've wanted them to do it for years, and we still haven't got it. But now they're in such a bad state, which we will talk about in the next story, that they're in such a bad place now that I don't even think they can get a Superman game out now. So they're retreating back to making a Batman game. So we'll see what happens, but that's unfortunate, that is. And then we got Electrify, who did a $5 super chat. Thank you very, very much, Electrify. I appreciate that. He's Electrify says, "I'm very interested in watching Superman, but totally not for an actress." When you say totally not for an actress, are you talking about the other character I mentioned? What was it? Where is it? Oh, where is it? The engineer, the Maria Gabriella. Is that what you're talking about? Not for an actress. Yeah, no one's going to watch it for that. They're going to watch it mainly so they can see Superman and Lex Luthor and stuff. So, yeah, we'll see how they do. Spirit Hero, take care. He says he's going to watch the Oscars now. Thanks for joining the stream. So, yeah, that's... That is quite a bizarre thing. Oh, Charleston's going to be going now as well. Take care, Charleston. Thank you very much for joining the stream. So yeah, that's this is basically his list. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks great, or do you think it looks messy? Do you think there's some good stuff but some dumb stuff? I think there's some good stuff and dumb stuff, honestly. Khan says, "I'm a bit worried for James Gunn's DC slate because it does feel like there is overstuffing us with content, which seems like a scattered mess." It does. I can't watch the Oscars because I don't have Hulu, says Goat. Well, that's okay. You're watching me then, in that case. Although if it's on Hulu, that means it should be on Star, which is what I have on Disney Plus in that case. So maybe I'll catch it later, maybe. Goat says, no, I've already read that. Jake says, "As long as Superman doesn't fly through rings, a new Superman game would be amazing." Yeah, a new Superman game would be amazing. I think everyone will be aware not to make Superman fly through rings again. That game is just too iconic for how bad it is. So yeah. Rohan says, me and those look good, but I'm still concerned for the DC universe. Me too. I feel like it's gonna have some wins and some losses, but it needs to win with that Superman movie, because if it doesn't, that's going to be a problem for the DCU, and James Gunn is gonna get the grunt of the blame for that. So it is in their best interest to make sure the Superman movie does great, and apparently they're gonna try to do a really good marketing campaign for it. So we'll see how they do. But that trailer took off like a super trailer, like a Superman. That trailer was the most viewed trailer in DC history and Warner Brothers history. So it shows that people still love Superman, and they've wanted to see another one, a better one. Goat says, "At this point, we are going to wait 15 plus years to get a Justice League movie." Probably. It's like, how is this all going to connect? I don't really see a connection here. Plus, the Teen Titans is like just messy. Shouldn't be getting the Teen Titans, certainly not right now. Batman235 says, "I want July 11 to come now." Well, with the way that time flies these days, no pun intended, it probably will feel like July will happen now, because time goes by too quick. It feels like we just started 2025 and already we're in the beginning of March, and a couple days have passed in March already. So yeah, not particularly fond of that. I'm like, I hate how time just goes by so quick. Joshman says, "Superman 64 is the absolute biggest piece of garbage game to ever come out for the Nintendo 64. That was an absolutely horrible game. It was. And we've also got a terrible Batman game on the N64. Who remembers Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker? That's considered one of the worst Batman games. So I don't know how Batman and Superman both got terrible games on the Nintendo 64. Technically, Batman Beyond is not the Batman, but it is a Batman. But you know what I mean. G-Gamer says, "Hey, I'm back from the theatre from watching Paddington 3 with my brother. What did I miss?" You missed the story that we talked about James Gunn's DC universe, all these movies and shows he's announced recently, a few days ago. And also you missed when we talked about Shrek 5 and the whole thing with the animation. We talked a bunch about that. And Jake also did a donation, which he's not done in a while, a donation like that of that size, and that was fun to revisit. Those were the good old days when Jake would do huge donations like that would just shock the chat. So yeah, that was cool. That was fun. Okay, so let's move on now to another DC story. Now we're going to talk about Wonder Woman. Now, some unfortunate news here. Wonder Woman had a game that was coming out from DC, and they announced it a few years ago now. I think it was like 3 years ago, and there's been no new updates about the game, like what's happening with it and everything. And well, yeah, Jake, I remember that. But whenever you feel like you're able to do it again, then by all means. Plus, I don't know if you've seen this, Jake. I've actually done this, where you can donate to commission like me watching episodes of TV shows. If there's any TV show or movie you want me to watch of yours, and you want me to watch the whole thing and record my reaction. So if you do stuff like that, it's not just donating just for the sake of donating. You'll actually get something in return. So if that makes it easier, that's also available. You know, as a way for you to say that you've actually spent it on something, not just donated. But anyway, going back to what I was saying. Oh, let me quickly answer a super chat done by Electrify. He goes, not for the engineer and Superman, for someone else. Adam Grunther says, another tax write-off. God, I cannot stand Zaslav. I don't think it's another tax write-off. What I think it is... Give me a second. What happened is... Oh, by the way, Jake, when you donate, you have to do it through the Streamlabs link, okay? I've pinned it in the description, and I've pinned it in the comment section. If you do that, 100% of the donation goes to me, and that way, I've got a system in place to where you and me can contact each other, and you can tell me what you want me to react to. So, just letting you know, that's the way to do it. That is the way to do it, alright? Just because I've set everything up that way. Okay, cool. Now, where was I? Oh, okay. Okay, now, here it is. The Wonder Woman game apparently was going through severe issues in terms of its development. Like, there was all these rumors coming around recently that they didn't know exactly how to make the game. Apparently there was this Nemesis system that was founded and developed for the Shadow of Mordor games, the Lord of the Rings games. And it was a great system that people found very competitive. How you have this rivalry with the orcs in the Lord of the Rings, and how they remember you and then they go up the ranks, and it was a really in-depth Nemesis system. And then Warner Brothers patented it. And they said, no other game developer can use it but us. And people were like, what the hell? So many games copy from other games. That's how game development goes. And Warner Brothers are saying, yeah. And heck, even the Lord of the Rings game that they made was copying from other games, including the Batman Arkham games. And for Warner Brothers to say that, yeah, we're going to basically... even copied from Assassin's Creed. So for Warner Brothers to say, you know what, we're going to take it, and you're not going to be able to... We're going to take that game mechanic, and none of you can use it. We can use your game mechanics, but you can't use ours. People got pissed, because that is a bad move, what they did. Because it's stifling development in the gaming community. Game devs will not be able to copy or be inspired by other mechanics from other games, because they'll be sued if they try to use it. So that was just very, very bad what Warner Brothers did. And they apparently wanted to put that Nemesis system into the Wonder Woman game, except they wanted it to be like a friendship system. So rather than being competitive with in-game characters that want to kill you, instead, these in-game characters will remember you. And I'm like, that's kind of bizarre, but hey, if you want to try something different, by all means. But Warner Brothers patented that, and now they cancel this game. So they cancel that game. They canceled a game that they wanted to use that system with. So basically, they've blocked it. They've blocked that gaming mechanic off, so now no one can use it, and they didn't even take advantage of it. So it's just sitting there collecting dust, and no one can do anything with it. That's very bad on Warner Brothers' part. But the reason this game is not being made is because apparently that friendship system, it was not working out well. They had an idea for it, they tried it, it sucked, and they were like, oh shit, this is not good. So that was one of the problems. It had a lot of other problems, and people are speculating that Warner Brothers wanted this game to be very much a loot box game or a microtransactions game. And, or what do they call it? A live service type game. And people are suspecting that's why the game wasn't working. And after Suicide Squad flopped, And like you see here, the $200 million failure was so damaging, it reportedly contributed to the cancellation of Monolith's Wonder Woman game. Basically, I feel like a lot of the bad habits of these other games that have flopped, not only from Warner Brothers with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, but also with other game developers like Concord with Sony, and several other games, live service games are really like just flopping left and right and being cancelled. I bet you that is why this game got cancelled, because they were trying to make a game with that system, and you can't make a fun game with that system when a game like this is designed to be like a single-player campaign like the Arkham games. But no, they wanted to try to take it and form it into something live service where they can just keep getting money, an endless stream of money from the gamers who bought the game. And that is ultimately what is this game's undoing, is that they were designing a game that was not fun, but they spent lots of money to develop it regardless, and apparently they spent $100 million to develop this game, and they still had to go back to the drawing board. And I think that is one of the big reasons why this game got cancelled. Because it's got no... They had to go back to the drawing board, they had already wasted $100 million on it, and they haven't got... Warner Brothers in particular have not got that kind of money on them. They haven't got that kind of capital. So when that happened, they were like, you know what? We gotta just cancel it. And apparently there are rumors that this was also going to be a very... Some people are not going to like that I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it. These are the rumors that I heard, that this was apparently going to be a woke game. Because apparently a lot of the writers that are attached to it, like some of the writers and creatives, they actually are like people that have proven themselves to be activists in the past. And after they did that before with... They took the activist route with Wonder Woman in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I think Warner Brothers got really cold feet and they were like, we cannot do this again. And they're bloody well right, so yeah, they cancelled it. And they also cancelled a bunch of other studios too, so... the others, they've shut down Monolith Productions, they've also shut down Warner Brothers Games Seattle, and Player First Games as well. And another game to bite the dust is Multiverses. Multiverses was a game that was a big hit, and it was done in collaboration with another game studio. It was a studio that Warner Brothers says, okay, we'll do this collaboration with you. You can use our licensed characters. But then the game did so well, people loved it, they enjoyed it, and then Warner Brothers said, okay, cool, now we'll buy you out, and you can continue to make the game, but make a few changes. Basically, they turned it into a microtransaction fest, and the game started to become terrible. They shut the game down, they turned it back on, and it got worse. People hated it, they got pissed off, and now look at what they've got. They've screwed up the Arkham games, they've screwed up Gotham Knight, they've screwed up Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, they've screwed up Wonder Woman, and they've also screwed up Multiverses. And now they want to stick to... They said that they want to stick to DC projects, to Harry Potter projects, and other ones like that. But the thing is, Wonder Woman and Multiverses are DC projects, and you cancelled them. So it just goes to show that they want to make projects with DC, but they don't know how. The reason why is because they're trying to make these scamming games where they can just keep getting so much money, but put no fun, but give the customer no fun in return. And that's a problem. That is a huge problem, and it's why ultimately they are losing out here. Warner Brothers were great with these games before. People loved the Arkham series, but with just one game, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, a game that was a very woke and activist-heavy game, it ended up basically dismantling their entire empire. The only game now that I think they're working on that has the most hype is another Batman Arkham game. But that will take years before it comes out because they're right at the start with that one. And apparently the rumors are Sony have paid money to basically make it exclusive to whatever PlayStation console comes out at the time, most likely the PS6. So yeah, it's a complete mess and a complete disaster over at DC's video game division. Meanwhile, Marvel Rivals is giving people exactly what they want, although they fired some of their workers, so technically even they are not really, like, you know, out of the shithole, really, to be honest with you. The G Gamer says freemium free equals not really, if you understand that reference. Batman's Gamer made it, and I just finished the story, Batman's Gamer. So what do you guys think of this? It's a shame, isn't it, how DC is just completely dismantling. Oh man, it's just so sad to see. Okay, take care, Fireboy. Thank you for joining the stream. It's just so sad to see this. Warner Brothers are just a walking L at this point, says Khan. I agree, they are. they're letting their greed get the better of them. The reason the Arkham games were so good is because they were made with the utmost passion. But games like Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, they were just made to drain your wallets. They weren't made to entertain you. They were made to have the least amount of work possible and get the full-on kind of like returns back on investment. That's what Warner Brothers thought they would do. Kevin has done a $2 super chat and says, GTA 4 or 5. I never played the two GTA games. I played 5 a bit, but I never had time to finish it because it's such a big game and very dense. But I would say GTA 5 had a lot of great stuff, but GTA 4 had seemed like it had some extra attention to detail on it than 5 did. But I've not played them all the way through to really give you I can't really give you an answer with that. I spent more time playing Sleeping Dogs because that felt more like the kind of game that I wanted to play. It felt more like a game that was cinematic and had better combat system, because the GTA games always sucked with combat. So I played that the most at the time, I think. So I didn't really play much, unfortunately, of GTA 5. I got too busy. Electrify says Warner Brothers are making stupid decisions. They really are. The G-Gamer says, I think the Avengers game really made people see the live service games as just trying to suck your wallets. A lot of people did. People can always tell they're not stupid when these live service games come out and when it is meant to just drain your wallet rather than entertain you. And that's why people are saying, with games the way they are now, who's going to want to pay $100 for games that have practices like these? Because once GTA starts charging $100 for games, you can bet your ass that the other game developers are going to try it too. EA definitely will. And they're not worth it. Super angry, I am not a fan of Joker 2. So that karma should not apply to me. Alright, time for the Q&A. Do you guys have any questions? And if any of you want to commission any of these, you actually can now. Oh, Jake says he has to go. Okay, take care, Jake. Thank you very much for joining the stream. Is Jake still here or has he already gone? Electrify, you're right. Just like Star Wars Outlaws. Do you have any hope for Born Again? I really don't, Goat, but let's see. I hope I'm wrong. Oh, super angry. Was that sarcasm? I couldn't tell. It was just came across so angry. Okay, now that was sarcasm. Oh yeah, I remember asking this to you, especially for bad shows. Eric, I just finished season 5 of the 2003 TMNT. Should I stop or watch season 6 and 7? Once you get to Turtles Fast Forward, where they're in the future, you can stop. But watch everything else prior. Okay. So yeah, like I said, if anyone wants to, if you've got a show that you want me to watch, and you want me to watch the whole thing, if there's any show that you want to watch, that you want me to watch, any of your favorite shows, then all you got to do is just literally just £30 for a 10-minute episode, £60 for a 20-minute episode, or £120 for a 40 to 60-minute episode. And if you want to save a bunch of money, then the £500 one is there for 8 episodes. So yeah, that's a new little bonus thing that I'm doing, and I will send you make the video for you guys and react to whatever movie or show you want me to watch. Or if you just want me to watch a single episode. Matthew says, how much is £250 in Canadian? I don't know. The G-Gamer says, Megamind rules show. Let's binge watch. Let's go. Well, if it fits under the 8 episodes, or 16 if it's going to be, the 20-minute episodes, then yeah, I guess so. Ooh, Cole says, I'm going to be watching The Penguin soon. I'm very excited. That's a great show, that is. You really should. You'll enjoy it, Cole. It's great. Then you can watch my review of it afterwards as well. I've got a review of it. The Born Again finale will release on April 15, which is my birthday. Oh, cool, Goat. That's, hopefully that will be a good birthday present for you, and hopefully it won't be a disappointing one for you. And anyone who does any of those donations through Streamlabs has to be through Streamlabs in the description. That's linked in the description or pinned in the chat. If you do that, your name will go underneath here as well. So yeah, just thought I'd let you guys know about that. Super Angry says, Eric, I'm going to find you and force you to watch The Last Airbender. Grrr. Well, I've seen The Last Airbender. All 3 of them. I even did a versus video for The Last Airbender for the first season of the animated show versus the first season of the Netflix show. I did a very in-depth versus video. That's one of my favorite videos that I've made. I've worked so hard on that. So if you're not super angry, take the time to watch that. Maybe it'll cool you down. The bad live-action movie, I've seen that too, sadly. I've seen that as well. And what's funny is I completely forgot I've seen it as well. That's how bad it is. Hey Eric, what's your favourite season of Smallville? Ooh, that's a good question. I think season 7. 6 is really good as well, but 7 is where all shit kind of like breaks loose. And it ends with an amazing cliffhanger, which season 8 just did not follow up on, which was unfortunate. Khan says, hey Eric, do you think the animation in Invincible is pretty bad because everyone kept complaining about the animation being pretty bad? I think it could have been done better. It's not bad, but you can tell when they're cutting corners. And yeah, I'm like, the animation should impress you more. When it's action heavy, the animation is great. But when it's just the characters talking and stuff, it's like, yeah, this is quite basic. Deadwolf says, I'm M. Night Shyamalan. Love my movies. Connor, I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been, buddy? He says, how you doing anyway, Eric? I cannot wait for the Puss in Boots battle. Yeah, the Puss in Boots video is coming. It's closer to being finished. That's my top priority right now. I'm spending a lot of time working on that. Are you going to do a season 2 and 3 of the animated versus Netflix version? That's going to be the goal. I'll try to do that, yeah. Because I put so much work into that first video, and I kind of wish it would have performed better. I don't know why it didn't. But yes, that is my goal, essentially, is to do that. Dan Caleb says, are you going to make a five-way versus video? Where is that comment gone? Did you delete it? I can't see it. 5-way versus video of Shrek 5, of Shrek 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I think is what he was going to say. I haven't thought about it, and I don't think I have to think about it, because that movie's not coming out until, essentially, just under 2 years, so we'll see then. No, I've not seen Dog, Man, Goat, but I saw the trailer when I was watching a movie in the cinema, and it actually looked funny. I've heard, but it also looked very kiddie. That's the thing that was disappointing about it, and I've heard people say that it is very kiddie as well, so I wish it would have played a bit more into the adult thing too, not just kids, like, you know, making it for, like, families, but it seems like they made it more for kids, unfortunately. Connor says, I also watched The Wild Robot for the first time the other day. I cried my eyes out. Top 5 DreamWorks movies. Yeah, it's amazing. It was really good. That's why it was on my top 5 list of 2024. Matthew says, why is Matt Reeves taking the time it takes to make a video game to make... Why is Matt Reeves taking the time it takes to make a video game to make the Batman Part 2? The script he's trying to get right. And not only just the script, but he's also having issues with some personal stuff, apparently. Divorce is potentially one of them, but apparently he's got another issue, which I don't know what it is, but apparently it's supposed to be a bigger issue than just a divorce. I don't know what it is, but yeah, we'll have to see. He's not going through an easy time, unfortunately. Okay, I'll be on the stream for about 13 more minutes, and then we'll end the stream. So if you've got any questions you want to ask me, if there are any super chats or Streamlabs chats you want to do, now's the time to do them. Because in 13 minutes, we're going to end the stream. Go watch Sinister, or I'll make you angry. Well, super angry. If you want me to watch Sinister, all you gotta do is just do that, and then I'll watch it live, and I'll actually record my entire reaction for you. Although I have seen Sinister, it was a good movie. I didn't like the ending. Oh, you're talking about Suicide Squad. You're saying Sinister Squad. I don't know. Sinister Squad, I think you're talking about. Suicide Squad. Oh, you have to say it again, angry. You got too angry, I couldn't read it. Have you heard of Sinister? Yes, Matthew, I have. Joshman says, Eric, have you seen Hui Toonmore's Soul Saga? No, I haven't. Eric, do you like DreamWorks better than Disney? Ooh, that's a very good question. I like them better. I like old Disney better. But DreamWorks have some real bangers out there. They got the Sinbad movie, which I loved as a kid. They got the Shrek movies, the How to Train Your Dragon movies. They've knocked it out of the park a lot, so they've got some really great stuff too. Blizzard says, what's your favourite movie? My favourite movie of all time is The Dark Knight. Everyone on this channel knows that about me. So yeah, that's my favourite movie. It's been my favourite movie ever since 2008. Nothing has ever knocked it off the list. Or nothing has ever knocked it off the spot. Joshman says, Eric, is there a way people can condition you to watch an episode of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic? Is there a way people can commission you mean, not condition me? Condition sounds like brainwashing. Commission me. Yeah, if someone wants me to watch even... Could you imagine if that is the first commission I get? Watch an episode of My Little Pony. I feel like I'm almost never going to live that down. But yeah, I don't know how long. How long are the episodes to My Little Pony? If they're 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever it is, yeah, there's the commission prices right there. All you got to do is just do it through Streamlabs, which I've linked in the description, and I've pinned in the chat over there. Just commission it £30 there, then there you go. I'll watch an episode of it if it's the 10-minute long episode. So yeah, that's the way you can get me to do it. The Time Shadow says, hi Eric, sorry I missed the stream. I did pop in earlier just to say hello, but I've been playing games with family. Don't apologize at all. I've played games with family too. I know what that's like. When my sister came over last time, we were playing Mario Kart on the multiplayer with Mario Kart on the DS. Although this is a 3DS, not the DS Lite that I was doing it on. But yeah, this is just to give you an idea what I'm talking about, what the size of the console was. So yeah. But yeah, if anyone is interested in any of these commissions, just let me know. We've got 10 minutes left on the stream. Khan says, hi Eric, ever thought about promoting your videos through YouTube Shorts or TikTok? Yeah, but it takes a long time to edit, and I'm already editing these videos, so... I mean, if you guys want to do that, and then send me the video, I'll credit you in the description and say thank you to this person for making this short, and then yeah, that'll make things easier, but I wish I had some kind of editor that could help me with that, but I haven't, and I can't afford to hire an editor either, so yeah, it's all me. Everything on this channel is all me. I'm a one-man army. Super Angry's gonna send me Concord to make me angry. But that is a very good idea, Con. Time Shadow, it is great to see you. Thank you, buddy. Good Times says I'm gonna head off right now. Been a good stream, Eric, as always. Take care for now. Thank you very much, Good Times. I really appreciate it, and it was great chatting with you again. So take care, buddy. I look forward to seeing you next week. Joshua says, Eric, the episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is 21 minutes per episode, Eric. So people can commission you to watch at least one episode of that show. Yeah, they can, if you want me to. That'll be the £60 commission. Do it through Streamlabs, and yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'll watch My Little Pony. The Time Shadow, have I had any more ideas about the email that you sent? I have. Should I just say it to you now? Because I've been so busy that I've not gotten around to writing it. Thing is, I would love to oblige, but I'm just not in a financial situation where I can actually pay anyone. I was just saying I would like someone to do shorts for me on YouTube and TikTok, but I just haven't got that kind of income on me to hire an editor. So I love your proposal. I really do. It was very thoughtful of you, but I don't have those kind of things. Maybe... like, I think I could only give you pocket money or something, but not the kind that you're looking for. And I feel like it wouldn't be fair to you if I did that. So that's why I probably wouldn't. If I could, I would, trust me, because I could use the hand. You know, I'm doing this all on my own. But unfortunately, I don't have that kind of capital on me, unfortunately. So if that's going to be an issue, then I'm sorry, I can't oblige. But I really would like to. Yeah, Super Angry, that's it. I also sleep with the lions too. The G Gamer says, what would your reaction be if someone commissioned you to watch bad TV shows? Well, my reaction would just be that of someone who wants to vomit and pass out. Like, you've seen, G Gamer, you've commissioned me to watch Megamind 2. I'm going to review it as well. But you've commissioned me to watch it and record my reaction. You've seen my reaction to it. So, yeah, I could have a similar reaction to that, I think. How many siblings do I have, says Goat. I've got 4 of them. With me, that makes 5. Joshman says, Eric, if people want you to watch an episode of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, they would have to commission not $500, £500. So what, how many episodes is there in My Little Pony? Is it 16 episodes, is it? 16 episodes, all of which are 20 minutes. That means that, yeah, it'll fall under the £500 one, won't it? Connor says, my reaction would be, don't make this guy suffer. He's been through lots of bad movies. Well, hey, Connor, watching bad movies to pay my bills is something that I would do if the occasion had arisen. G-Gamer says, Toy Story 5 versus Shrek 5 would be an interesting versus video for an idea. No, that is an interesting idea. I didn't even think of that, but it's a very good idea, so thank you for proposing the idea. YouTube's monetization, very unreliable, especially when the new year starts, because they throw all the advertising revenue in for Christmas. Then the first few months of the new year is where the revenue is at the lowest. So that's why any super chats, but especially Streamlabs chats, really does help and helps keep me going, helps pay the bills, allows me to do this for a living, because I'm gonna try to do this up until June when it's my birthday, and if YouTube has not taken off on me at that point, I'm gonna have to try to find another way to actually get revenue in, so another way to make a living. So then YouTube will become a hobby for me, and you won't be getting as much uploads. I'm sorry to say, you might not even get as much live streams, because it's going to be very tricky to balance the two. So that's why I'm hoping by this June that this takes off. So that's why I always say, give the videos thumbs up as much as you can, share them as much as you can, and any donations you can do through Streamlabs or YouTube Super Chats, but especially Streamlabs will really, or my Patreon or any of those means really will help towards that goal. So then I can just keep making you guys videos as a living, which is a dream. That would be a dream come true. Joshman says, there are 9 seasons of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and there is a total of 221 episodes of Friendship is Magic. Wow. That is insane. Could you imagine if someone actually commissioned me to do all those episodes? Whoa, that's insane. I'll probably want to paint my room pink after that. I'll probably go insane. Electrify says, predict what will be the good and the bad in Avengers Doomsday. I think the good will be watching Doctor Doom kill a lot of the Avengers that we didn't like. Because I think that's going to happen. I think they're going to try to say, look at how high the stakes are. When really, it's like, you just cleared the board for yourself, didn't you, Marvel? You had too many heroes, you didn't know what to do with them, so you just killed a bunch to make things easier for yourself. And you're passing it off as stakes. That's how I see it. That's what I think they're trying to do. Yeah, Eric retiring for GTA 6. I won't be truly retiring. I'll still make videos, but it just won't be anywhere near as often. It'll be much less the amount of them. Matthew says, I don't think that the Conjuring movies are violent enough to warrant the R rating. Apparently the first Conjuring movie got the R rating just because it was scary. It was meant to be a PG-13 film, but apparently the ratings board thought it was just so scary that it got an R rating. Even though it didn't have no smoking, no graphic violence, no nudity or anything like that. So it got a PG, didn't get PG-13, got rated R. And then the second movie they made with the intention of being rated R. So you see them at the bar, or was it at the pub or something, and you see little other bits and bats. So yeah. Joshman, I know it's a grizzly color. The G-Gamer says, any long show would be super expensive though. It can be like any long show would be super expensive though. It can be like 1 episode every 2 weeks. Yeah, 1 episode every 2 weeks, that could be affordable. Like, whatever is easy for you guys, basically. Don't feel like you have to donate, but I always say that, it really helps keep the channel going, and I always appreciate that. But only do it if you feel like you can, or if you feel like you want to, but don't do it if you can't afford to do it, basically. Now, if you're some kind of rich person or something that is very wealthy, then by all means, if it is within your means, but otherwise, don't feel like you have to, unless you can afford to do so. Or unless it's a commission that you really want and you're willing to put the money down for it. Scariest game you ever played? Mine was Five Nights at Freddy's. Mine was a very old game of eight-legged freaks. It was very much like Doom, the old Doom games, the pixelated games. There was a movie called Eight-Legged Freaks which came out in 2002, 2003 about giant spiders eating people. I remember as a kid I wanted to see that movie. And there was a demo of a game that I downloaded and me and my sister would play, and we would be afraid to actually go and play it because the spiders were huge in that. I remember that. That was freaky when I was a kid. Oh, Jess says, hey Eric, Flo has won. I'm disappointed the Wild Robot lost. Oh, the Wild Robot lost. That Flo movie better be a masterpiece when I go to see it. It better be. Joshman says, by the way, Eric, you know Patton Oswalt did he appear in 2 episodes of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. The same after that starred in that Ghostbusters movie Frozen Empire. Oh really? Wow. G Gamer, yeah, Flo won. Who's seen Flo here? Who's in the chat? Has anyone seen the movie yet? I don't like how the movie is up for the Oscar and it's not been released worldwide yet. Like, how is that even a thing? You've seen it, Khan. That's good. What do you think of it, Khan? Flo was pretty good. Do you think it's better though, Khan, than Wild Robot or anything? Daniel Flynn, I have a versus video idea. God of War versus God of War Ragnarok. The Time Shadow says, Eric, I had some thoughts on what you said. I just sent you a follow-up email. Okay, that's cool. I'll read it afterwards. After this, I gotta get some rest. I gotta get some water. My throat was getting sore, and I'll read it. And yeah, if I don't respond through email, I'll respond through this again, like we did. But hopefully, I should. I'm just super busy, like really busy, and sometimes it's harder to get that down in words. What I just said to you on the stream, you know, to say it in a nice way. Because tone is hard to convey on text. Joshua says, Eric, are you going to ask people to commission you to watch episodes of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic? I'm not going to ask anyone. It's up to them what they want me to watch. Because if there's that favorite show you've always wanted to see, what I would say to that show or to that movie or just to that episode, then by all means that's up to them. I'm not going to tell people to commission My Little Pony. That's entirely up to them. Apparently, G Gamer wants to commission me to watch episodes of Megamind, the TV show, after I've done the review for him. So that's going to be happening, and I guess I've got that to look forward to. But I do look forward to paying my rent, so there's that as well. So, yeah. Electrify says, are you making a video about the Oscars one day about anything? I don't know. We'll see. I made a video about the Oscars about the Will Smith slap, so if you want to see what I thought about that, then you can go ahead and check that out. I don't talk about the Oscars very often, but I have mentioned them, though, in videos and things before. Khan says, sorry, yeah, it kind of does deserve the Oscars, especially because of the fact that this is basically an indie film. I know it's an indie film, but was it that good? Let me see. Khan says, do I think it deserves it? What was it? I thought it was actually really good, but surprisingly good because I watched this movie blind. Oh, that's good. That sounds like fun. I did that with another movie recently. Khan says, do I think it deserves it having the animals not talk? Do I think it deserves it? Having the animals not talk was honestly one of the best choices in this movie, at least in my opinion. That's what I wish they would have done with the Wild Robot. The movie was so beautiful. I felt like the movie was intended to have no dialogue in it, except for maybe the robot. The animals, I feel like they weren't supposed to talk, but then they made them talk. And I think they could have... The best part of the movie is the opening, when the robot is trying to find its way, and then when it finds the little baby. And then I like how, you know, the scene where it finally separates from the bird. A lot of that is done with no dialogue, and just music and visuals. And I'm like, if the whole movie could have done that, I think that would have been better. Let's see. Who said something about Amelia Perez? Joshman says, Eric, for the 2003 Turtles, do you know which season goes downhill? I can't remember what season number it was, but it's once it turns into Turtles Fast Forward. First is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the first few seasons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But then it goes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fast forward, and that's when it sucks. And I stopped watching as a kid. The Time Shadow says, what do you think is worse, the Beauty and the Beast remake or the Lion King remake? Ooh, the Beauty and the Beast remake. That was just cringeworthy. The Lion King was just so dull. The G Gamer says, if Amelia Perez wins, at least Crash isn't the worst Best Picture winner anymore. I don't think I can't remember Crash. It sounds familiar, but I've forgotten about it completely. Oh, look at that one. 3 minutes past how long I said I was going to be on. Alright, guys, that's basically going to be it. I'm going to head on out now. I had an absolute joy chatting with all of you. Again, don't forget to give this stream a thumbs up. Don't forget to give my videos whenever I upload them a thumbs up. And you just watching the videos from beginning to end whenever I release them, it always helps with the YouTube algorithm. That's what I'm really trying to get going, is the algorithm. So all you got to do is give the videos a thumbs up and watch them for a good chunk of it, or maybe even all of it would be more ideal. But then it would really help. And that's ultimately the only thing that that I really need in regards to that. And if you can share these videos, that would also be appreciative. But yeah, like I said, these are new commissions that I've actually put out there for all you guys to see now. So if you want that, by all means, you can go ahead and do that anytime. And then it has to be done through Streamlabs, though, through the link in the description or the pinned comment section. And then just on the note when you do the donation, it'll be configured for pounds, so that will already be done. And then you can tell me what movie or show or what episode you want me to cover, and I'll know. So it has to be done through Streamlabs, not through Super Chats or anything, because I've set it up that way. So yeah, and it's more convenient that way, more easier that way too. Electrify's done a $2 Super Chat, says, have you bought the Russo Marvel movies digitally? Yes. Thing is, I have a friend who's insane, like just likes to go on a shopping spree when it comes to these things. Sometimes I go get it from the friend, but actually no, I don't have those ones on digital. I had one of them on physical, but I don't know what happened. I think it's when we moved I lost it, so we haven't got that anymore. But now we've got Disney Plus, so they're all just available there, plus there are the IMAX versions too, so we watch those. But yeah, physical is always better if you can get physical. Better than digital, better than streaming. So always try to do that. Anyway, thank you for the Super Chat, Electrify. I appreciate it. Thanks to all of you for the support. And yeah, I'm going to head on out now. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. And I'll catch all of you very soon. Stay tuned for that Puss in Boots Versus video. That's going to be a good one. And make sure that you, like I said, thumb it up, share it, and all that stuff. So, thanks for watching. I'll catch all of you next time. Take care.